Hello everyone. Um, Good morning. Welcome back to NVIDIA channel. I am Dr. Athiya Arzu. Today our topic is on greenhouse effect. Today we will discuss about what is greenhouse effect and how the greenhouse affects this environment and what is greenhouse gases. Detail about this. You can see here what is greenhouse effect. Definition of greenhouse effect is greenhouse effect is the process by which radiation from the sun are absorbed by the greenhouse gases and not reflected back to the space, reflected back to the atmosphere. And this insulates the surface of the earth and prevents it from freezing. And you can see here the greenhouse and how the sun's solar energy comes to this greenhouse and cannot radiate it back from this house. So it enables this atmosphere to increase the temperature of the atmosphere. And what is the phenomenon behind it and how these greenhouse gases absorbs this solar radiation and increase the temperature of the atmosphere, we will discuss one by one. And what is the greenhouse effect? A greenhouse is a house which is made up of glass that can be used to grow plants. The sun's radiation warm the plants and the air inside the greenhouse. As you can see here, if the solar radiation or heat energy cannot transfer to its outer surroundings, then the inside temperature will be increased and it warms up the inside atmosphere. So the heat trapped inside cannot escape out and warm the greenhouse, which is essential for the growth of the plant. Same is the case in the earth atmosphere. Um, and the same phenomenon is occur inside the earth atmosphere. And during the day the sun heats up the earth's atmosphere, and at night when the earth cools down the heat is radiated back into the atmosphere, and during this process the heat is absorbed by the greenhouse gases in the earth atmosphere. This is what makes the surface of the earth warmer, that makes the survival of the living being on earth possible. And however, due to the increased level of greenhouse gases, the temperature of the earth has increased considerably. This has led to several drastic effects. So we will discuss both advantages and disadvantages of greenhouse gases later. You can see here how the solar radiation comes from the sun and reflected back these solar radiations. You can see here the solar radiations which is coming from sun. These radiations are with shorter wavelength. As it is shorter wavelength, it is having more energy, and when it radiated back at that time it has longer wavelength. As it is longer wavelength, it has less amount of energy, it has leisure energy. When it is with leisure energy, it is easier to trap by the greenhouse gases which is present in atmosphere. So the radiated back heats already absorbed by these greenhouse gases. The solar radiation which comes from sun, it is not captured by any greenhouse gases due to its high energy, and the radiated back heat energy is absorbed by the greenhouse gases due to its leisure energy. So the greenhouse gases are such gases which absorb the heat energy from the rays which is radiated back from the earth surfaces. There are several greenhouse gases are there, like your carbon dioxide, CFCs, and other gases. Here some points are depicted to clarify greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are the gases that absorb the infrared radiations and create a greenhouse effect. For example, carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbons. The major contributors to the greenhouse gases are factories, automobiles, deforestation, etc. The increased number of factories and automobiles increase the amount of the gases in the atmosphere. The greenhouse gases never let the radiations escape from the earth and increase the surface temperature of the earth. This then leads to global warming. What is global warming? From this term you can easily understood global warming. That is warming of the globe, warming of the earth. And greenhouse gas is any gas that has the property of absorbing infrared radiations or net heat energy emitted from the Earth's surface and radiating it back to Earth's surface, thus contributing to the greenhouse effect. And the main greenhouse gases whose concentrations are rising are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbons, and ozone in the lower atmosphere. Not ozone in stratosphere. Only ozone in lower atmosphere is considered as your greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gases have a profound effect on the energy budget of the Earth system, despite making up only a fraction of all atmospheric gases. And concentration of greenhouse gases have varied substantially during Earth history, and these variations have given substantial climate change at a wide range of timescales. And in general, greenhouse gases concentration have been particularly high during warm period and low during cold period. And there are various causes of greenhouse effects are there, such as your burning of fossil fuel, deforestation, farming, industrial waste, and landfills are the major causes of greenhouse effect. How burning of fossil fuel causes the greenhouse effect? Fossil fuels are an important part of our lives. They are widely used in transportation and produce electricity. Burning of fossil fuel release carbon dioxide. With the increase in population, the utilization of fossil fuel has increased. This has led to an increase in the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Similarly, due to deforestation, plants and trees can we know plants and trees take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Due to the cutting of trees, there is a considerable increase in greenhouse gases, which increases the earth temperature. And farming is another causes. Due to farming, nitrous oxide used in fertilizers is one of the contributions to the greenhouse effect in the atmosphere. Similarly, industrial waste and landfills, the industries and factories produce harmful gases which are released in the atmosphere, and landfills also release carbon dioxide and methane that adds to the greenhouse gases. And several factors influencing greenhouse gases concentrations like tectonic activities and other factors such as vegetation, soil, wetland, and ocean sources and sinks operates time scale of hundreds of thousands of years. And some human activities, especially fossil fuel combustion and revolution, increasing rate of industrialization, concentration of various greenhouse gases, special carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, and chlorofluorocarbon. These factors influence the greenhouse gas concentration. And here is some effects of greenhouse gases like your global warming, depletion of ozone layer, and smoke and air pollution causes due to greenhouse gases. Due to increasing rate of greenhouse gases, global warming occurs, depletion of ozone layer occurs, and smoke and air pollution also causes. And other effects of greenhouse gases like acidification of water bodies becomes acidified, and a runway of greenhouse effects. Also a runway greenhouse effect arises when the temperature of the planet rises to a level of the boiling point of water. As a result, all the water form of the oceans converted into water vapor, which traps more heat coming from the sun and further increases the planet's temperature. Similarly, if the temperature of the atmosphere increases, the melting of glacier occurs. Due to melting of glaciers, sea level rises. So each and everything is related with each other. So due to increasing rate of greenhouse gases, ultimately the entire ecosystem disturbs its equilibrium. And here some points which is depicted the advantages of greenhouse effect, like the presence of carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere produces the greenhouse effect, which keeps the atmosphere warm. The warm atmosphere is very essential for the survival of life on the earth, and this effect is needed for the precipitation of water, formation of clouds and rainfall, etc., because of the life in this biosphere which depends on the resources. And warm atmosphere also helps us in growth of vegetation and forest because of this resources of the food and shelter. And these effects also help in rapid biodegradation of dead plants and animals. And also some disadvantages of greenhouse effects are like increasing rate of temperature. Summer will be warmer with natural disasters, and water level balance on the earth will get disturbed, and life and ecosystem will get disturbed, and also affects the weather pattern, rainfall, which will become erecting many parts of the world. Okay, so here all these points of advantages and disadvantages of greenhouse effects are described here with the mechanism of greenhouse gases. So this is all about greenhouse gases and greenhouse effects, how greenhouse gases affects this environment. So I hope this video is very beneficial for you. Thank you for watching this video.